What are you saying, teacher?
Okay, hopefully that's fixed the problem. Can everybody hear me now?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. I can hear you guys much better too. That's good. Okay, so now that we can all hear each other, can somebody tell me one of the responsibilities of the first proposition speaker? What is one of the jobs they have to do when they speak in a debate?
3 arguments.
Good. So they have to lay out the team line. They have to let you know what their team arguments are going to be. Good. And what's another job of the first proposition speaker? They have to, I'll give you guys one more. I'll give you guys one. They have to define the motion. So they have to make the motion statement and let everybody know what side of the argument they're on, their team's on. And what's the final job of the proposition speaker, first proposition speaker? Tim, do you know?
No, I don't.
No worries. How about Hannah? Do you know the final job of the first proposition speaker? They have to deliver their own arguments. They have to make their own arguments. Which arguments from the team line are they presenting? They have to make those too. So next we move on to the first opposition speaker. And what are some of the jobs that they have to do? They've got some really important jobs to do as first opposition. Can anybody think of one?
Rebuttal.
Very good, Tony.
Two arguments.
Very good. So rebuttal against proposition arguments. Good. We have lay out their own team line. Very good, Tim. What's another job that they have to do? Zon, can you think of one?
I don't think about anything. Sorry.
No problem. All right, so one of their other jobs is to, excuse me, deliver their own arguments. And they've got one final responsibility. If the proposition is defining the motion, what does the opposition team have to do?
I think they need to say about how to people trust about their agreements.
Good. They have to make their own arguments against the motion. Good, to try and get the audience to believe them. Good job. So they have to reject the motion. Okay, so on to our second proposition speaker. What are their responsibilities?
Two arguments.
Good.
Yeah, they say about our agreements.
Very good. So make more arguments. Present more evidence to make your team's case stronger. Good. And what is the other job that the second proposition has to do?
Rebuttal against the first opposition speaker.
Very good, Tony. Thank you. Very good. And now second opposition. What are their two jobs?
Rebuttal.
Very good. And what else? Hannah.
I think that they need to make more agreements to support their team.
Very good, Hannah. So they need to make more arguments to strengthen their team's case. Very good, guys. And finally, we have our third proposition speaker. What is one of their responsibilities?
Make a strong conclusion.
Very good, Tim. So make a strong concluding
Conclusion.
statement. Very good. And
Sometimes
very good, Hannah.
agreement.
Very good, Hannah.
And the proposition agreement too. And by
That's right.
thing.
Yeah, so the third proposition speaker needs to make sure that they summarize all of their team's arguments. So remind the audience about the strong case that they made. And then finally, they need to make a strong concluding statement to make sure that the audience remembers them, remembers their team. Very good. So now what about the third opposition?
Strong,
Summarize the team's argument.
Very good.
strong conclusions.
Fantastic. You guys have got it. Oop. Okay. Very good. Now, little bit of a trick question here. Let's see who can get it. I have missed out one thing. I've missed out one thing from this debate structure. What have I missed out? Pardon? We've got the question and answer session. So that will be a 10 to 15 minute period during the debate where I'll ask the debaters questions and the debaters will get a chance to ask some questions as well. And so we can use that to try and find weaknesses in our opposing team's arguments. And yeah, try and look for spots where you can prove them wrong. Okay, so guys, I'll make sure that you grab a screen copy of this whiteboard, please. So make sure you all screenshot that. So you'll have yes.
Do when we always debate something, do we always have to have three person in our team?
So for proper official competition debates, yes, it's normally teams of 3 people. But because our class is bigger than that, to give everybody something to do,
Teacher,
we're going to have teams of 5.
what is
Yes, Tim.
what is the debate topic?
The debate topic, we'll get to that in just a minute. But yeah, just to make sure before I delete this, everybody's got a screen copy of this whiteboard, because this is going to help you a lot to figure out how you're going to structure your arguments. So I'll give you guys 10 more seconds now, grab a screenshot, then I am making it disappear. Okay, bye. So, did I give you guys a topic in the last lesson, or did I still need to decide that for you?
The topic is should students have to work on holiday?
Pardon?
What is the topic?
The topic is should students get a longer holiday break?
Ah, terrific. Let me write that down now so I don't lose it. Should students get a longer holiday break from school? Okay, terrific. Thank you very much for that, Tony. You are a legend. So, topic, should students get a longer holiday break from school? Okay, so right at the top, that is our debate topic. Okay. That's good, Zon. You eat, drink, and keep learning. Good on you. So first of all, we have the proposition team. And the proposition team are Lisa, Ben.
I am an
Kenny?
opposition team.
That's right, you are. Lily and Hannah. Okay, you guys go right at the top in the left. And next, we have the opposition team, which is Tim, Elsa, Tony,
Me too.
Annie, and Zon. You guys go right up the top here on the right-hand side. And so that leaves me.
Is the scoring?
That's right. That leaves me as the judge and interlocutor. Now, just to make sure that we all perfectly understand the side of the debate that we're on, I'm going to put that at the top of the screen here. So if you are on the proposition team, you are arguing that students should get a longer holiday break. And if you are on the opposition team, you are arguing that can't talk and type at the same time. It's crazy. So if you are on the opposition team, you are arguing that students should not get a longer holiday break, that your holiday break from school should stay the same length that it is now. Okay. So again, guys, once I've finished this whiteboard, I've got a few more facts to put on it. and then I'll get you guys to screenshot it. This is my attempt to make a pretty border of all of the important information. Terrible, love it. Okay, so the next information that I'll give you is what you need to do next to get prepared for the debate and start doing your argument. So this is where you guys get to start doing some work to prepare for this debate. It's going to be great.
Hey, Mr.
So first of all, yes.
I think you need to put opposition in one Zoom and proposition in one Zoom so we can talking with our teams.
Well, it's crazy that you mentioned that, Zon, because I'm actually typing down some information for you now. And my first tip is to actually get in touch with your teammates. So get out of my head. I'm starting to think you're a mind reader now. So I'm just typing this info in and then I'll say it once it appears on screen. Okay, so first thing you guys need to do is to get in touch with your teammates. So you can use the class Zalo group, or as Zon mentioned, you can organize a Zoom call with your teammates so that you can get all of your teamwork done. Zon, are you laying in bed with a blanket on? Oh, bless. Okay.
Because I am sleeping, learning, drinking, and eating.
I don't think you can sleep and learn at the same time, because I think you'd just be asleep. You wouldn't be paying attention. Now, this is quite an important step. Again, I'll type it out, then I'll tell it to you once it appears. Okay, so to make sure that I'm not changing the terminology, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, perfect. So in order to not change the terminology and confuse you in regards to which team member you are, the way that I've decided to organize your roles will be, or it'll be up to you guys to organize who wants to be first speaker, who wants to be second speaker. Now, for the third and fourth people on the team, I've just called you the, yes.
There is a third people who speak is a second speaker.
Well, the second speaker, the second speaker, and the third second speaker, they will all have the same job. And that's why it's important to have screen copied that last whiteboard with all the roles on it, because the second, third, and fourth members of each team are all going to do the same job, and that is the job of the second speaker. So you will need to rebut your opponent's arguments, and you will need to, you'll also need to present more arguments for your team. And then finally, the third speaker, who's actually the fifth member of the team, the third speaker will deliver the summary and the conclusion. So when you get into your Zoom meetings with your team, that's when you guys can discuss and work out who should be first speaker, who should be second, third, fourth, and the final speaker. So it's up to you guys to decide that with your teams. Number 3, once you guys have worked out who's who, your next step, I'll type that out, and then I'll talk about it. Yes, Ben?
Peter, the second speaker, what does the job?
What does the second speaker have to do?
Yeah.
So the second speakers on each team, their job is to give rebuttal to their opponent, and then they have to add more arguments and more evidence to make their team's case stronger. So we should have 2 very strong cases on either side of this argument, because we're going to have a chance to deliver lots of arguments. This is going to be good.
Teacher, can I ask?
Pardon, Tony?
Can I ask?
All right, so I'm just putting up the next step now. Okay, so tip number 3 is, oh, sorry, Tony, did you have something you wanted to ask or something you wanted to say?
I want ask if some people do not, this car do not have a Zalo, do not have the Zalo, you do not use Zalo, so how we can contact with them?
To how to contact with your teammates?
If they don't have Zalo.
Organize a Zoom call. So you guys can actually now, during the lesson, I'd like you guys to organize with your teammates and organize a Zoom meeting so you can do all of this teamwork.
Teacher, we decide a role, who's first, who is next.
Correct.
We will do our ideas.
That's right. So you guys will be responsible for deciding who will be which speaker on the team. That's your guys' decision to make.
Then we'll do the ideas.
That's right. That's right. So once you've decided, then yeah, get together with your team and brainstorm ideas. So that's where you just write every idea you can think of on a piece of paper. So I'm sure you guys can use the whiteboard in your Zoom calls to write down all of your ideas on. And then from all of those ideas, I want you to think of as many arguments as possible for your team. So we want to make sure that each team member gets about 2 or 3 arguments each. So we need to really think of as many reasons as we can, and then decide which team member will get which argument. So which team member is going to deliver each of your arguments into the debate. So that is deciding your team split and your team line. So that's what I've been talking about whenever I've said team line and team, just forgot the other word. Team split, that's it. So yeah, I'll type the next step in now and then I'll talk about that.
Teacher,
Yes.
should we organize 2 meeting rooms?
So this is all work that you guys will be doing outside of class to prepare for the debate. So what we'll do is, so I want you guys to talk in the chat box and I want you to organize a Zoom call with your team by the end of this lesson. So that's your task for today, is talk with your teammates and create a Zoom call for you guys to all meet up and discuss this.
You've created a Zoom call. Maybe I need to ask about my mom.
That's fine. I'll post it in the Zalo group for
I'll
all the
ask my
parents
mom.
to see that that's the task
Teacher
I've set
was
for
saying,
you.
Teacher is sending a link to everybody to meeting.
Say that again, Tim, sorry.
Teacher will send the link to everybody who will have a meeting.
Yeah, so in the chat box in this class, I want you guys to talk amongst yourselves and I want you to organize some team meetings. So look at the whiteboard and you'll see your teammates. They are the people that I want you to organize a Zoom call with. So we'll end up with one call for the proposition team and one call for the opposition team. Ben, what's up?
Teacher, when will we submit this task?
So the debate will actually happen next Thursday. So we have a full week to prepare for this debate, to get all of your arguments written and ready to go.
So what we are going to do now?
So now we are going through all of your preparation, what you need to start doing. So the first task is to organize your team meetings on Zoom. So start telling each other when you're available and try and find a time for everyone to meet up.
Like a free time.
Lack of free time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there will have to be a time when everybody is available. So you guys just need to use the chat box, talk to each other and sort it out. Find some time to spend with your team and organize your arguments. Because this is what you're going to have to do when you start debating. If you decide to start competing, this is the sort of stuff you're going to have to do. So my next important tip is to start researching for evidence to support your arguments. If you can't find any evidence, then do not use the argument. Because for any of you that learn persuasive writing with me, our definition of evidence can be quite loose. So we can use examples, personal stories, things like that. But in a debate, we want to use more formal evidence. So things like statistics or surveys that have been done or studies. You need to use quotes from people that we know are important. And yeah, just really credible evidence. That's the important thing for debating. Like the evidence needs to make an audience go, okay, yeah, I believe that. And yeah, so if you can't find any argument, any evidence for your argument, don't use the argument, because you will lose points for if your evidence is not well prepared. Very good, Zon. Thank you. Okay. And the final step, or the next step to do, is to start writing your arguments for the debate. So I want you to check in with your teammates, because while you're looking for your own evidence, you might find evidence that helps your partner. So if you do, so keep in contact with your teammates throughout your argument preparation, and yeah, just keep in touch, because you might help each other, or that's what you want to do, is help each other. So I'll get you guys now to take a screenshot of this, please, because this is all really important information.
So when will we debate?
So the debate will be next Thursday. So your class next Thursday, we're going to do a proper debate, and we're actually about to talk about how the debate will be structured.
There is a championship.
That's
teacher,
it. We're going to have our yes.
I am using the snipping tool to snip this, so I haven't remembered.
Say that again.
I have used the snipping tool, so I have cut it.
Very good, very good. So, all right, so I'll get rid of that now, and then we've got just a little bit more to talk about. So, the next thing to talk about is the debate structure, how we're going to run the debate on the day. So, the first thing to talk about is on the day of the debate. So on the day of the debate, the first thing we want to make sure of is we are on time. So this debate, we've got 10 speakers who need to deliver arguments. So that's going to take up about 35 minutes. We've got a question and answer session, which is going to take 10 to 15. So that's 45 to 50 minutes. We still need time to announce the winners, and we need time to do introductions. So we need to make sure that we're on time so that we can get the debate running quickly and smoothly. The next thing we want to make sure is that we're wearing nice clothes. So debates are quite formal conversations. Excuse me. So I think we talked about it when I was teaching you about posture last week. Hope you guys are practicing that, by the way. I just lost my train of thought there. Yeah, I was talking about wearing nice clothes. So yeah, a debate is quite a formal conversation. So when I was on my high school debating team, our uniform was we always had to wear our winter uniform. And our winter uniform was a long sleeve button-up t-shirt, a long sleeve button-up shirt. We had a tie that we had to wear. We had, gosh, what else did we have? We had a long pair of pants, blazer, tie, shirt, and a pair of proper dress shoes. I'm a bit forgetful tonight. So yeah, I'm not going to expect like a full tuxedo or like a proper, like real proper, but just imagine that you're going out for dinner with your family to a nice restaurant. You might wear, boys, for example, a nice button-up shirt, pair of pants, nice pair of shoes. Girls, if you wear a dress, nothing strappy. So no sundresses, nothing like that. Or you can wear, again, a nice top and a nice skirt or a nice pair of pants, whatever you'd prefer, but wearing our nice clothes. Next. So next up, we need to make sure that our arguments and our evidence are fully prepared and that they're ready to be delivered on the day. We don't still want to be writing our arguments as we're getting ready to start. And finally, I want everybody to change your name on the Zoom call to, I'll write it down and then I'll tell you. So I want everybody to change your name to number of speaker, team, and then your name. So my example would be first proposition speaker, Michael. So if everybody changes their name to what speaker they are, what team they're on and their name, it'll help me keep everything a lot more organized on the day.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so draw a line to separate that. And next, I'm going to write down the order of how the debate is going to flow.
Teacher, choose a speaker and write the name.
Yes, that's right. So the number of the speaker that you are, what team you're on, and your name. So I'll get everybody to screenshot this again once I've put all the information up. So, okay, so our first bit of business will be, I'll make a quick introduction for the debate. I'll introduce the topic and I'll introduce both teams.
Yeah, but can you say about the topic now?
Yeah, absolutely. So our topic is, should students get a longer holiday break from school?
Okay.
Yeah, so hopefully someone in the class, or we know people in the class have screenshotted that whiteboard. So we'll make sure that we share all of these in the class, in the Zalo group.
I can share now, okay?
Very good, thank you.
And the debate homework. group, okay?
Yeah, correct. So
Okay.
the second thing that'll happen is I'll read out the rules of the
Just wait
debate.
a minute.
No worries. Or even if you could do it at the end of the class, that would be helpful. So the second thing we need to do is that I'll read out the rules of the debate so that everybody is aware. And if you need any rules clarified, just make sure you ask me and I'll tell you the rules. Okay, so
Yeah.
Teacher,
yes.
do we have to wear our school uniforms on the next Thursday?
If you would like to, you can wear your school uniforms if that's easier. But if you don't,
School uniform.
but if you don't want to wear your school uniform, just wear some nice clothes. It's like a nice shirt and pants, or a nice top and skirt or something.
Maybe it.
Okay, so after I read out the rules, we'll get started. The first proposition speaker will speak, and each speaker has been given 3 minutes and 30 seconds to make their arguments.
3 minutes or a second.
Teacher, speak
Yeah.
as fast as you can to read other arguments.
No, 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 no. Because if you speak too fast and I can't understand you, I'll have to take points away. So that's why it's important to make sure that you think of lots of arguments and then give them out to your teammates, because we want either 2 or 3 arguments per debater. So you all need to get together with your teams and work out all of those arguments you'll need. Okay, after that, the first opposition speaker will speak, and again, 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
So each team have 17 minutes and 30 seconds. Might be about it.
Correct.
If we can speak that time for all of the arguments, so it is a bit hard.
Pardon?
I think if we speak about it with 17 minutes and 30 seconds for all of the agreements, it is a bit hard.
So it can be, but that will be up to you to practice your speech once you've written everything. And then once you've practiced, you can time yourself and train yourself to speak so that your 2 arguments and any rebuttals you've got will that'll take 3 minutes. You'll actually fill that time quicker than you think. I promise.
When we can using to do something to put on the timer if in 3 minutes we don't speak finish about
Teacher.
it, so we can make it shorter a bit.
That's right. All right, so
We will try to practice as less times as we can.
pardon?
We will try to practice as less times less time as we can.
Well, you'll want to practice a lot, or as much as you can, because yeah, I'll be judging on not only how good your arguments are, but how you present them. So you'll want to work on standing up nice and straight, practicing your speech, and yeah, really getting it as good as you can, because I will be handing out points for presentation.
presentation. Oh, good. Good. I'm very good at computer.
Good. Well, make sure that you are, what was I going to say? Make sure that, yeah, that you do practice your speech a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're good with computers and you want to make a presentation to support your arguments, you're more than welcome to do that. If you think that a slideshow would make your case stronger, the
Yes,
only thing
okay.
the only thing you cannot do is play a video or play a song from somebody else. But you can present pictures, you can make slides with all of your information on it. But make sure that you put
Teacher,
that in
I can
dot
I
point
can
form.
put a video from another website and put in
No,
the
no videos allowed. If you choose to make a slideshow for your part of the debate, no videos, no music, because that will mess with the copyright laws, and the video will get deleted basically. So no videos, no music, but you can use it to display pictures if you have evidence, or if you just want to put like dot points on in a slideshow, that's what you can use them for. So next up, we'll have a 10 to 15 minute question and answer session. So we will make sure that, so I'll get a chance to ask you guys questions. You guys will get a chance to ask each other questions. And the point is to try and look for weaknesses in your opponent's arguments. So yeah, use that for all you can. Next up.
teacher. What is question and answer session?
So the question and answer session, that'll be a 10 to 15 minute session where
Per-
I will ask each of
per
you
people.
questions, and you'll also get a chance to ask each other questions. So you'll want to ask your opponents questions to try and find weaknesses in their arguments. Okay, next up, the final proposition speaker will speak. So they'll summarize their team's argument and make some strong concluding statements. After that, we'll have final opposition speaker, 3.5 minutes again to summarize your team's arguments and to make your concluding statements. Now, with all of this time that you've got, I really want you to, or I should say, the perfect length of a speech when you've got 3 minutes and 30 seconds is about 3 minutes and 20 seconds, because then you've just got those final 10 seconds to thank the audience, thank the judges, and finish your speech. So once you start writing and practicing your speech, you want to time it. If anything longer than 3 minutes and 30 seconds, I'll start deducting points for speaking over your time. And anything less than about 3 minutes, or anything less than about, say, 2 minutes 45 seconds, will be too short, and you'll lose points for not having enough. Okay, so after that, I will tally the scores and I'll decide the winner. And something that I've told everybody is that if you feel that you've been judged unfairly, you can put in a protest. But if you do that, you need to make sure that you have a good reason for it, and you need to be able to say why you think that. So that option is there.
Is a cheat.
But I promise I am a fair judge. I will not cheat to decide the winner. I'll be very honest, and I'll be very, call it right down the middle. So I'll get everybody now to take a screenshot of the whiteboard again,
Finish.
so that you've got all of this information. So yeah, so Zon, if you had screen captured all of those whiteboards, would you be able to transfer them to, actually,
Teacher, we have
Yeah.
to remember all this debate structure.
you don't have to remember it, but you do need to know what your responsibilities to the team are. So yeah, you definitely need to know what your responsibilities to your team is. Okay, actually, so I've gotten all of those whiteboards, so I can paste those into, the Zalo group. I'll do that now. So that's time for today, guys. You did a very good job asking questions and finding out what you needed to know. But if anybody does have any questions about their debate preparation, please feel contact me on Zalo, and I'll answer any questions you've got. But hopefully I have all of your made arrangements for your Zoom calls. I'll post your homework in the Zalo group now. So have a good night, everybody. I'll see you on Tuesday. See how your
Goodbye,
debate prep's
teacher.
going.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, teacher. Goodbye.
Goodbye,
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye, teacher. Bye, teacher.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, teacher.
Goodbye. Thank you.